Hello and welcome to our video focused on the second writing project for our course, which is the academic article proposal. Now before listening to this video, please be sure to read the project handout and rubric available on our course site, as I'll highlight the most important details within this video, while the handout and rubric give you a full overview of expectations for the project. I want to begin by talking about the purpose of this project. So previously, in your annotated bibliography, you had the chance to compile research on the issue you plan to explore in your academic article. Now the proposal is really your chance to take a stance on the issue and use the research you have gathered to make the moves we've been talking about with academic argumentation. Please note that you're required to continue to discuss the same topic you explored in your annotated bibliography. If you're considering changing topics, you must clear a new topic with me, so please email me directly to do so. Returning to the focus for this project, in the proposal, you'll present ideas for how you plan to make an argument in your academic article as you take a clear stance on your issue and discuss supporting and opposing views you plan to address in the article. In the academic article proposal, this is your chance to pitch your vision for the academic article. So because of that, the other thing I'll emphasize in this video is that the more time and effort you put into this current project, the proposal, the easier it's going to be to compose your academic article as the final project, because you'll be able to pull a lot of the information that you discuss in the proposal directly into your academic article. So I encourage you to think carefully and critically about the ideas you plan to share in your proposal. Now to talk about some of the specific requirements for the project, if we scroll down to the directions portion, you will see I'm asking you to clearly emphasize your stance on an issue while discussing the approach you'll take to support your argument. To do so, you'll need to synthesize information from the research you've gathered to ultimately demonstrate that you've examined various perspectives on your topic, and more so to identify the specific claims and evidence you'll use to make a robust argument in your article. To do this, I'm asking you to compose a proposal that addresses the following points in the rationale portion of the handout. The entire project should be at least 1,200 words, in which a majority of the discussion will focus on the rationale that addresses the three sections outlined here. Really, these three sections, the issue, they say, and I say, mirror the moves we've discussed with academic argumentation this semester. Thus, they parallel the structure you'll use to compose your academic article. To begin, you'll discuss the issue portion of the rationale, which is very similar to an introduction in the initial part of your academic article. In this section, you'll identify and describe the topic you're planning to discuss in your academic article. To do so, you may need to share relevant background information or explain technical or field-specific terms to really familiarize your audience with the issue. More so, I want you to explain why this is worth considering, especially thinking about this conversation and how it has the potential to propel ideas in the field forward. Why is this an important topic to discuss now? How are you sharing new insight or discussing a unique angle of the topic that needs to be further explored, so you are truly contributing to an ongoing conversation? Next, you'll compose the they say section of your rationale, which is your opposing viewpoints. Here I'm asking that you not only identify opposing viewpoints, but that you get very specific. Who holds these opposing viewpoints? Does a specific individual? An organization? Did you find these ideas discussed in a specific source? I need you to identify where the information is coming from. Then thoroughly identify and discuss the claims that they make and what evidence they use to support their claims. Remember, even if you're taking a stance that differs from the claims in the they say section, it's imperative that you find credible research to acknowledge opposing claims. In other words, it's important that you are able to contend with opposing views that are logical and well supported by credible evidence. You'll need to avoid opposing claims that are unsupported and unreliable. Finally, I want you to end with discussing how you plan to contend with these views. Will you disagree entirely with the claims? Will you acknowledge some portion of their viewpoint but contest with parts of their argument? How do you plan to respectfully enter into conversation with the opposing views? That's a great way to transition into the final portion of the rationale, which is the I say section. In the I say section, you'll clearly identify your position while justifying and defending that stance. So, what stance are you taking within your thesis statement? What support and evidence do you have that you will use in depth to fully defend that position? In this portion, I want you to identify specific sources here, specific arguments you'll draw from, and again, tie it to your thesis statement. How are these ideas and sources going to fully support the claim you're making? Then you'll see in the last portion, I'm asking you to list your thesis statement. This can truly just be listed on the project immediately above your rationale, where you write thesis statement and then compose your 1 to 2 sentence thesis to really focus the project. Then you'll discuss the issue, they say, and I say sections afterwards. After the rationale, I'm asking you to create an outline of how you expect your academic article to unfold. So you'll identify the main points as well as the support and evidence you'll use. Within the module, there's a discussion on creating robust, clear outlines as well as an example. Additionally, here you'll find a discussion about the moves I'm asking you to make in the rationale. I highly suggest you dive into this material and familiarize yourself with how to approach these expectations in the project. And then finally, you'll create a works cited page according to MLA documentation standards that list at least 4 sources. This requirement exists for a few reasons. 1, it's your second time citing research in the course. So this is your chance to correct any errors you may have had on the first project, while also gaining experience composing a formal works cited page. More so, the source requirement has increased, so you're able to gradually expand your research to prepare for the academic article. These sources should not only be cited properly, but they should be ones that pass the CRAP test. Additionally, you're required to have a balance of academic and non-scholarly research, which means at least 2 scholarly sources are included. It's completely fine if you list sources you used in your annotated bibliography, but the academic source requirement has now increased to a 2-source minimum. That covers the main requirements for the project. As you begin, please remember I'm always happy to assist you, so just email me directly if you have questions. Otherwise, I look forward to reading your final projects.